We're speaking about tefillah, davening, and Chazal tell us the Gemara in Brachos, tefillah is mitvarim she'omdim berumai shel olam, the top of the world. Bnei Adam mizalzlim ba. What does it mean, the top of the world? Berumai shel olam, the highest point in the world. Hooray, you're davening, you're standing on the ground. What does it mean, berumai shel olam? And what I believe, what Chazal meant is, we've spoken about that before, is there are four levels of existence in this world, right? Chazal tell us our Kadmonim tell us there are four worlds. There's Atzilos, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah. And what's the difference between these four worlds? These four worlds, we can be in all of them, not at the same time, we're one at a time, but it's dependent on our level of perception that we have during prayer. And the first level is Asiyah, and that's the level that we're at during Brachos, Birkas HaShachar, and Korbanos. That's completely in the physical world. Recognition of Hashem through the physical world, through the brachas that we make, Pokeach Ivrim, Malbisha Arumim, dressing the clothing, the undressed, and shasli called sorki, our shoes, etc. Korbanos, which is putting animals and bread on the Mizbeach, wine, that's the physical world. The next level is the world called Yetzirah, right? And that's mostly physical, but partially spiritual. I shouldn't say physical because it's above the physical world, but it includes malachim and other things. And then there's a lower level of recognition of Hashem. The world, and that's parallel to Psuki de Zimra. The next level is Bria, which is mostly recognizing Hashem and partially other existence of other spiritual beings like Malachim. And the highest level is Atzilos, when we're just completely recognizing the Bori Olam. There's nothing else there, no Malachim, nothing else. And when we get to Shemona Esrei, when we're at Shema, then we're in Bria, and we get to Shemona Esrei, we're in Atzilos. And what does that mean exactly, that we're in Bria and Atzilos? What it means is that when we get to Atzilos, then you're just in the room alone with God, basically. And there can't be anything else there. No thoughts, no nothing. Nothing else exists besides Hashem, besides the Bori Olam. And that obligates us to take everything out of the room. No one there except Hashem. No breakfast, no projects, no work. Not even Daf Yomi or even a Sugya B'Iyan can't be there. Only thinking about one thing, Hashem, Baruch Atah Hashem, right? Chonei Adas, right? Ufei Chol Amo Yisrael, right? Matzmei Karen Yeshua, only Hashem. Now, one of my Talmidot, Dr. Joyce Morel, she once told me as follows. She said, the proof that the Yetzer Hara exists is just daven Shemona Esrei. And we see that. You daven Shemona Esrei, before davening, a person, I'm talking now, I'm giving this class, I'm not thinking about other things. I'm not thinking about breakfast or even about Daf Yomi, which I don't learn, but what I do learn. I'm thinking about the class. Suddenly get to Shemona Esrei, 1,000 thoughts come into her head. What's going on? Or in Yiddish, what's Tutzach? Why is it that it's so hard to Shemona Esrei? And the answer is very clear. Because when you arrive at Shemona Esrei, you're at the doors of Atzilos. You're at the highest possible world that you can be, right? And to get into that door is an avoda. The Gemara in Bracha says that la'olam yikanis adam shtei psachim v'achkach yispal. A person should go in two doors and then pray. There's many different explanations of this Gemara. Most of them are lahalacha. You should not daven by the door of a shul. You should walk in the length of two doors. You should wait the amount of time of two doors before you start your tefillah. Many different explanations, right? Halach lamaisa, they're taken on. But the Maharal says something a little bit deeper. The Maharal says that you have to go through two doors before you pray. You have to leave this world and you have to enter the next world. The first three levels of prayer of brachos, korbanos, psuki de zimra, shema, the first three levels are leaving that door, are going out through the door. The fourth level, Shemona Esrei, is going into that new door. That's entering the door of tefillah. That's La'olam yikanis adam shnei psachim v'achach yispal. A person has to go through doors and through to daven. And that second door is entering the door of Atzilos. And the Gemara says, so how do you get in? How do you get into that door? Yeah? How do you get into that door? Yeah? You get into that door by just only thinking about Hashem. Just completely HaKadosh Baruch Hu, completely the Borei Olam. Just Hashem. Just Hashem. Yeah? And it's not easy. It's a hard avoda, right? Because to get into that door is the door, right? When you go through that door, you're just with the Borei Olam. You're just with the Borei Olam. And when you're just with the Borei Olam, so then that is the highest level that a person can reach in this world. And therefore, he has to work very, very hard to get to that level. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help us in His infinite mercy, right? When we get to that door, and I'll just finish with one point which Revolva taught me, right? And the point is that how do you do it? If you can do that, just stop for a few seconds and just think, I'm about to go in that door. I'm about to be just with Hashem. And if you think that, then you have a much better chance of going to that door, right? And this, the Abu Raham says, this is what's behind Hashem Svai Tiftach. When you say those words, Hashem Svai Tiftach, he says, you should be like in such awe after you went through that door that you're going to faint and can't open your mouth anymore. And that's why I say Hashem Svai Tiftach. So when you say those words, feel like I'm right in front of Hashem. I should be like in complete awe and not able to open my mouth. And when you get that feeling, when you have that hargasha, when you have that feeling, then you are in Atzilos. That is the sign. That's the litmus test that you're in Atzilos. So Hashem should help us to get there. Should help us to get there. And the truth is, we get there every morning. It's not a question of getting there. It's a question of going in. It's a question of going into that door. We should be zeiche to get into that door. Now, I take that back a drop because in order to be there, we have to have gone through Abiyah. Abiyah, which is Atzilos, Yisrael, and Abiyah. We've had to said Karbanos and Brachos properly, Psuki to Zimra properly, and Berkos Kriya Shema and Shema properly. If we just like rushed and said Brachos in like half a minute without Karbanos, and then Psuki to Zimra we skipped because there was not enough time, and then quickly through Shema and Berkos Kriya Shema, so we're not really in such a good place. Like our position in Atzilos is very weak at best, right? But if we took Karbanos properly, and Brachos, and Psuki Zimra, and Berkos Kriya Shema, and Kriya Shema, so when we get to Shmona Esrei, so we're by the door. We're by the door, yeah? And then we just have to go in. Just have to go in, meaning we have to open the door. And we open the door by just focusing on Hashem, taking everyone out of the room, all our friends, family, loved ones, hated ones, everybody out. Just me and God. And take out our lunch, take out our daf yomi, take out our work, everything out. Just you and Hashem. And that's how you go through the door. Hashem should help us to go through that door every day, every tefillah. Amen.